Dear author, let me tell you about the worst ending for a series I've ever watched and how to avoid it while writing your own novel. So, it's a Turkish series talking about Layla, who's actually a scammer working with a group of people to marry men and then steal their money, and Atush, who's a businessman, just came back to Turkey because of the will of his father, leaving his mother's company to him, and he stays with his brothers and sisters from his father's second marriage for 3 months. So, my problem with this series is its ending. First of all, it came really, really quick. There was lots of things that were supposed to end before the full ending came in. The second thing is it was a very, very loose end. So, what is a loose end? A loose end mean that you started a problem, but you didn't tell me the solution or you didn't give it to me. Let's say that X and Y started a relationship. They like each other, but you didn't tell me. Is it a happy ending? Is it a sad ending? يعني, did one of them die, for example, or what exactly happened? How did it end up in the end? A situation happened, but you didn't give me a clear ending to it. No real solution, no real end. So let's talk about the loose ends in our series. So Laila was working with four people. One of them, a man, went to prison. We didn't know if he's going to get out or not till the end of the 13 episodes. Another woman was supposed to marry, and yet we didn't know if she actually married Yani, or if she broke up with a guy like she did once before. The boss of the gang of the scammers, he was threatening them to work with him. So he was supposed to be like kind of a father figure to them, and yet he was actually threatening him. Um, we didn't know if he was going to continue threatening them to work with him or if he was going to change and like become a new man or something. And then there was another boy working with them. He fell in love with the male lead's sister, and we didn't know if he was going to go back to school to learn and so that he would marry her or how it's going to end. We still didn't know that. Okay, so what do we do with loose ends? Thing is, we do tying. It's like tying your shoelace. How do we tie loose ends? We do the exact opposite. So a problem happened, give it a solution. X and Y fell in love. Tell me how it's going to end. Happy ending, sad ending, someone's gonna die, someone's going to travel abroad, leaving the other. How is it going to end? A situation happen, give me a clear ending of how it's going to be solved or who is going to do what. Now let's get back to our problem. The guy who went to prison, let's say for example, to tie his loose end, he he's going to get out of prison and he decided to change and become a new man and search for a real job. The woman, she met the man's family, and then she decided they didn't like her, so they are going to break up. The guy who their boss, he for example went to prison. The guy who fell in love with the girl, he decided that he's going to finish his education, search for a job, and marry the girl. Now this is tying loose ends. طيب, during by your novel, while you are writing your own novel, how to tie loose ends. So thing is, normally novels are really, really long, and us as authors may sometimes forget some things. So for example, you might mention a certain character at the very beginning of your novel, give him a purpose, and then forget to continue his own journey. Forget about the whole character. If you do that, there are two ways to solve this. So either that you completely eliminate that character, or you continue to add certain situations for him to complete his journey. Okay, so how do I make sure that I don't forget to solve any loose ends? You're, you're going to read your novel and you'll have your notebook beside you. Every time you start anything, like a new character, like a new situation, like a relationship, you're going to write it as points in your notebook. And then you're going to write the end. So that guy, he completed his journey, no loose ends. That situation, we solved it, no loose ends. That relationship ended up, them breaking up, so no loose ends. يعني مثلا for example, let's say that you mentioned a certain weapon, a legendary weapon, in your novel at the very beginning of the novel. And then let's say that your characters finally found the weapon, they used it, and then what happened? You have to tell me, did that weapon مثلا for example got demolished, or did they like someone keep it in a safe place? Was it stolen, for example? What happened to it? Completed to the very end. And that, dear author, is how you avoid a very terrible ending like that one.